Now what I've done, Steve-O's just finishing off the Kontiki there. It's on its way out. And I've come up onto a sand dune. Great thing is when you're up here you can get to see everything. You see the holes, the ruts, the little banks, the shelves. You can see right in front of us, right here, there's a rip. And that's probably like a little rut there, a little hole. And then you've got some waves breaking right there, where it broke right there. That's a bank. It's breaking right along there. So basically right in front of us, it'll probably go right out and it'll turn into sand. And then we'll be able to get to that bank for a bit of a flick. Further down here, I can see a hole. You can see those waves break and then they disappear. So there's a nice little hole there. Could actually cast from the sand there into that hole. Probably find a bit of KIWI and trevally, even lacquer snapper. So what I'll do is I'll get the Surfcaster out. I've actually got the new Kotare, the Okuma Kotare with me today. And we'll give that a flick. Might do a bit of a shift if we get nothing on the Kontiki. And maybe try and find somewhere a little bit better for my surf casting. I do love my surf casting up here more than the Kontiki. Kontiki's cool to do, but I'm here for my surf casting. So I'll get that ready, see if I can find a little hole I can throw a bait out into. I want to try and get a KIWI at least for our next set anyway. Okay guys, when I'm surf casting middle, I like to use a couple of different traces. Normally start with a running rig, but lately I've been getting a few paddle crabs nipping at the bait, so now I start with the old dropper rig. Now I'm running braid, so what I like to do first is double my line. So you just double your line and you want enough to be able to obviously tie your swivel and stuff. So all I do to double it is a surgeon's loop, and all that does is double your line. Now I've got my dropper here that I actually made. Obviously got the swivel at the top there, come down. I've got my little trace here and I'm running 2 hooks. Quite like using 2 hooks out here on the west coast. Down to my breakaway. Now what I like to use is a new improved clinch knot. So you go through your swivel, and the old way you used to just go around your line, go through the loop and pull, but especially when you're using braid, you want to double that line again. So you grab your line, put it together, make your little loop, and then you go through that loop 5 or 6 times. Pull it tight and then pull it up to the swivel. So there you have it. We've got our double lined braid there, down to the swivel, down to our dropper rig. Just running a little 4 ounce here. Start with a 4 ounce and then make my way up if I need to. Now I'm actually running the new Kotare today. This is the new model, Okuma Kotare. So it's made from high modulus carbon 46 ton graphite, and it runs the ultimate matrix reinforcement technology. So it's super light, thin and sensitive, but it's very durable and helps reinforce those vulnerable places. Now it also has the LR guides, which is perfectly built for distance casting. They're designed to eliminate those guide wraps on these high performance rods. So you don't get any of that wrap, that line wrap around your guide when you're casting. So it's a real nice rod, the new Kotare. Super thin and light. It's got that fast action, gives me some good distance when I'm casting. So we'll bait up and we'll get a line out there, see if we can get a fish on it. Now what normally happens when you're surf casting with these breakaways, over time these come loose, these little breakaway legs. So all you do is you grab them and you bend them in, push them back in towards that tip, and then they fit in real nice and snug. Now when you're actually casting out, even with mono, I use braid, but even with mono, a lot of guys get cut in that corner of your finger, right on that line. A lot of guys put the line right there in that groove. It's just a natural thing, fits nicely in that groove, and when they cast, it flicks through their finger. It starts getting real sore, and when it gets wet, it gets cut. And then a lot of times when you're waiting for a fish to bite, they're also holding it in there, and a fish will bite, the line will move and it will cut. Now when you're casting, if you take up that tension with the tip of your finger, the line's not going to fall out. You don't have to take it up in that little groove of your finger and start getting cut in there. You take up that tension with the tip of your finger, and then when you cast, all you do is point, and then you're not getting cut and hurt through this little section of your finger by using it in there. When you're using braid, you don't actually have to even hold braid. You don't even have to touch it to feel the bites, because there's no stretch. You'll feel the bites through your rod. But if you do want to, all you do is you're just touching it there. You're not holding the line like that because you're going to get cut. You're just touching it and you'll feel those bites. All you're doing is just touching the line like that and you'll feel those bites. So that'll hopefully help you guys that are getting sort of cut up in that little section of your finger. Don't get your line in there. It'll just end up getting cut and all sorts, especially when it's wet. So we've just got a little hole here. It's a bit of current. It's like a rip getting pulled out. Just a little hole. It's not that far out. It's probably only about 50-60 meters. And you just never know. We'll just chuck a bait out there and we'll see what happens.
It's down there, bro. It's down there. It's a good snapper, bro. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah, boy. Yeah, stonker. on the new Kotare. It's a nice fish, man. How's that, brother? Stonker of a fish. Got it on the new Kotare, Okuma Kotare. Put it to the test. Must be going close to 10 pound, that one. How's that? Tide's gone out. Able to get out onto this bank here. Got to cross over a little dip, casting out into that channel now. Oh, yep. Got a real nice fish a couple of minutes ago, and I think the fish are here in this little channel feeding. Oh, yep. Oh, yep. Grab it. Get these little nibbles and then it just grabs and goes. Yep. Oh yeah, I'm on. Oh yeah. Another nice snapper. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, boy. Another nice snapper. Not as big as that last one. Another goodie. Not as big this time. Got it on the old Kotare. Another nice little fish. A little bank out here. And as the tide goes out, turns into sand. There's a little gut here we got to cross over. But I'm able to get out into that channel. It's coming up to that low tide. And starting to get a few of these cool little fellas. So we'll chuck them in the bin and we'll get another bait out. But yeah, we'll cross over. Don't know if you'll see it. This will just drag right out, and then there'll be some sand out there. It's probably about a good 60-70 meters. I'm able to walk out now and get into that channel. But yeah, it's not a bad fish.